on today's Hearts of Heroes.
As I was going down to the basement, the wall blew up on me.
A house fire traps an elderly woman inside.
I ran. I put a towel over my nose and mouth.
Until a crew of sanitation workers jump in to rescue her.
God told me someone's in that house.
Plus, a vehicle erupts in flames along a busy freeway.
The car very quickly engulfed fully.
Teamwork and a high-tech drone will be the only hope for survival.
I can hear the gentleman screaming from inside the car.
What can you do to help this person that's inside of a vehicle?
We only had seconds.
These heroes demonstrate resilience and compassion in times of adversity. We all know those people who perform above and beyond what is expected of them. The ones who go the extra mile, because it's the right thing to do.
Well, when a sanitation crew saw a house on fire with a woman caught in the flames, they didn't think twice. They went that extra mile.
Life moves a little slower in small cities like Mount Clemens, Michigan. Here, neighbors flash a smile and give a wave to people on the street. And that includes their sanitation workers.
Our drivers, especially our Mount Clemens guys here, they are known in the city. You know, they come out, bring water, cookies.
It's great seeing people. They usually are thankful about what we do.
I just like taking care of the community because that's my job. That's my job. I love it.
70-year-old Barbara Goudlock has lived in Mount Clemens most of her life. She still lives in the house where she was raised.
My father and mother had that house built. We grew up there. This is a comfortable town.
Although Barbara has always admired the dedication of the city's sanitation workers, she could have never imagined that she would owe her life to them until a frightening morning in April 2024.
I was in my bedroom, and I heard this pop, pop, pop.
The popping noise was coming from the basement.
I went to the basement. I got to the second or third step, and the wall blew up on me.
Barbara lived in an older home. Aging wiring started an electrical fire. Now, with the smoke and flames quickly spreading, the 70-year-old had to find a way out.
I was gonna try to go through the front door. I couldn't get out that way because it was so dark. I ran to the bedroom, closed the door, and I got a towel, and I put over my nose and mouth, and I called 911.
The smoke and fire were just outside her door. Barbara was trapped. But heroes were pulling up her street. Not firefighters, but Priority Waste's Mount Clemens sanitation crew.
I was driving down and I saw the fire. It was black, heavy, heavy smoke. Heavy smoke. God told me someone's in that house.
We looked at each other and we instantly rushed. We rushed right to the house. Immediately, no questions.
With the front of the house engulfed in smoke and flames, Keon Beatty and another crew member tried to find a different way in.
We went to the back to make sure there was access, but there wasn't.
After alerting 911, Gary Witcher contacted the sanitation department dispatch.
He said that there was a fire, and I said, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, so I started bringing him up on the third eye to see him live.
The third eye is a camera and audio equipment installed in each truck. It allowed dispatch to watch the scene in real time.
When I brought him up live, the loaders were already up at the house, and Gary's on the phone with me, and our loaders were kind of going around the house, and they were hollering and, see if anybody was in there.
Someone could be sleeping and inhaling that smoke and die.
Coming up.
My heart just sank. Are they going to be able to get to this person before the crews get here?
But first, when the chilly season settles in, many of us look forward to that comforting glow of a fireplace. Here are some essential tips to ensure your indoor fireplace remains both charming and safe.
A crackling fireplace not only adds warmth and coziness to any room, but can also save money on heating costs. However, there are important precautions to take when using an indoor fireplace.
Number 1, never burn trash, which often contains dangerous toxins. 2, avoid wet wood. This can create dense smoke and creosote deposits, a tar-like flammable substance that can clog up your chimney. And finally, always have a fireplace screen, even when you think the flame is extinguished. Embers can remain hot and dangerous.
So cozy up to savings and warmth. Just be sure to embrace a safe fireplace.
In April of 2024, Mount Clemens sanitation workers pulled up to the scene of a dramatic house fire. With rescue vehicles en route, there was no time to spare. They rushed to the home to see if there was anyone inside.
We go to the back, we didn't hear anyone.
They were unaware that 70-year-old Barbara Goudlock was trapped in the front bedroom.
They were knocking. It was like a knock, 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 knock. Nobody answered because I was screaming from the bedroom.
With the back engulfed in flames, they moved to the front door.
We end up kicking in the door.
They were suddenly assaulted by a wall of thick smoke.
It was just a cloud of black smoke. I tried to walk in the house. It was just smoke instantly down our throats. We couldn't even do anything about it.
I was inches away from that door, and they came right out. It was so bad, I was throwing up. That's how bad it was.
The front door, once it was open, becomes basically a chimney. So all the smoke and heat wants to find its way out. So when they open that door, it comes right at them.
With the smoke billowing out of the front door, it was impossible for them to get inside. Suddenly, they heard Barbara calling from her bedroom window.
We heard the lady go, "Yes, yes, I'm in here."
When I heard him say, "There's somebody in there," my heart just sank. Are they gonna be able to get to this person before the crews get here?
Are you able to lift yourself up? They came around to the second bedroom, and that's where I was, and they pulled the window back because they heard me hollering.
The flames were searing the outside of Barbara's bedroom door.
You have to climb through the window!
And time was running out.
That's the scary part, because there's a lot of people that never get out.
The workers tried to coax her out of the front window.
It was like, jump. And I was like, no, I'm not jumping.
She said she can't jump. She couldn't jump. She was scared, and I don't blame her.
We basically just let her know that she was safe. We weren't gonna drop her.
It was like, we have to get you out of there now. I dropped the towel, climbed up in the sill of the window, and I leaned back, and they got me out.
And when she came out, it was the best. We saved a life.
They were carrying her out as the fire department were coming up there.
When we pulled up to the scene, I could see smoke coming from the building, and the sanitation workers were walking the resident across the front grass.
She was like in a lot of shock. She said thank you, but she was just mostly in shock.
She was very lucky. The conditions in the house were deteriorating very quickly.
Barbara's home was badly damaged, but still, she had so much to be thankful for.
I was happy, very happy. These guys had come to save me.
And for their part, these heroes received a special commendation from local and state officials.
I got signings from like the mayors and the House of Representatives and stuff like that. That felt great.
It was amazing. It was awesome. It was awesome. That was so nice of them, you know. We didn't want anything. We saved a life.
Recently, Sheldon Yellen of our sponsor, Belfour Property Restoration, brought Barbara and these heroes together for a special reunion.
Barbara, it's not often that people get to see and thank people who have literally saved their lives. And here we are today. What would you like to say to these guys?
I appreciate everything that you did for me, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. I was overjoyed when I met them, and I couldn't wait to hug them. Could not wait to hug them. These were some awesome guys. I appreciate anyone that stands up for somebody else. You know, they didn't have to rescue me. They could have kept on doing their job. But they saw the smoke, and they busted in my door, and they helped me get out.
These two men ran toward the danger and said they're going to put themselves at risk to do what they knew was right, to let their heart lead, not their mind.
They have a big heart. You know, it's not every day when you come across a situation like this to where you have to put your life on the line and help another person. That takes a lot of courage.
You can help somebody, I think you should. That's just automatic. If you get the opportunity, you should be able to help someone.
We just did what we had to do.
I told them I will stay in contact with them. They're like my children. Thank you.
Coming up, chaos and confusion. An injured passenger lays trapped in a raging car fire.
So many emotions go through your head. What can you do to help this person?
It is really hard to imagine a world without modern technology. Computers, smartphones, GPS systems, they've become essential to our daily lives.
One police force in Southern California is integrating cutting-edge technology that is both saving lives and changing the landscape of law enforcement.
Chula Vista, California is the second largest city in San Diego County and a vibrant epicenter of both international commerce and recreation.
Chula Vista is 7 miles from the U.S. border. It's a booming city.
I'd say we're probably one of the busiest agencies and cities in the county.
Technology at Chula Vista has been something that we have put at the forefront for many years. A couple of the things that are really transformational that we have here at Chula Vista are Live 911.
Live 911 is an innovative, real-time emergency communication system. The traditional approach was that the reporting party would speak to a call taker, who in turn would type in pertinent information. Then that info would go to a dispatcher.
Live 911, we can cut out the part of the typing and we can hear exactly what that person is saying.
And why is that important? Because these officers can already be responding to get to the scene. The other thing that I'm awfully proud of is our Dronus First Responder program. Our drones are actually responding to 911 calls.
The drone will arrive on scene faster than an officer. There's no stoplights, there's no traffic that affects it. A lot of times it's a lot safer.
When those calls come in, our drone operator will take off, oftentimes getting there in 90 seconds and being able to provide officers with real-time situation awareness. It has made a huge difference in how we do police work.
These two state-of-the-art technologies would prove vitally important late one October evening of 2023. A car crashed down an embankment of the busy I-5 freeway and burst into flames.
911. I heard a loud bang for our house on Highway 5. There's smoke over here. And now I see fire.
I don't see anyone standing there.
There was just one problem.
Okay, so it's the northbound I-5, north of L Street.
Is it on the freeway or is it on the street? It's on the side at J Street.
Callers were giving conflicting information as to the exact location of the vehicle fire.
Sounds like the embankment.
By hearing the 911 calls, responding officers knew that they had only moments to spare. Operator Kyle Roberts immediately sent a drone to the general area. By leveraging the high-definition camera and infrared technology, Roberts precisely pinpointed the exact location of the fire.
10-4, station civilians that are route to the Palmer to be closer to the L Lincoln Street per area.
Copy, I'm on I-5 now.
When Officer Hernandez arrived, he saw the car fully engulfed in flames.
So many emotions go through your head. You're trying to figure out, how can you approach this tactically? What can you do to help this person that's inside of a vehicle?
Coming up, the clock is ticking and rescue options are running thin.
The car very quickly engulfed fully. We only had seconds.
But first, drones aren't the only modern innovations that can help those in need. Here's a tech tip, should you or someone you love suffer auditory disabilities.
Modern technology can truly make a difference in the lives of those in need, especially for people with hearing impairments looking to lead independent lives at home. There are a few fire detection and warning devices that can help ensure their safety and peace of mind.
One option is a strobe alarm that in case of a fire will create a bright flashing light. Also on the market, there's something called a hard of hearing smoke alarm, which vibrates your bed if smoke or fire is detected. And finally, there's a device that scrolls warning words on a screen in case of emergency.
These devices are simple to set up and easy to find online. Just be sure that your choice is fully functioning and ADA compliant.
In October of 2023, a driver was trapped in a swiftly burning vehicle on the I-5 freeway in Chula Vista, California.
It was imperative that we got there as fast as we possibly could.
Every second counted on this call.
The Chula Vista Police Department enlisted one of their drones to lock in the exact location of the vehicle.
It was on the right-hand shoulder, down an embankment, and it looked like it had hit itself against one of the freeway fence lines.
The drone had guided me in.
North of L Street, storage lot right there.
Officer Donald Trong made his way down the embankment to the burning vehicle.
All the doors were still closed, all the windows were still intact. I went down closer to yell because I could see that the entire front end of the car was on fire.
Hold on!
Someone yelled back at me.
Hold on!
They were still in the car.
But Officer Trong was unable to get in.
The car landed in an area of brush, about 5 feet high, and it blocked both sides in.
322, I'm smashing the back window, someone's still trapped inside.
By now, the flames were intensifying at an alarming speed.
From the time that I responded to the time that I went down the embankment, the flames went from the front engine area of the car all the way to the front driver door and the rear passenger door. We were surrounded by brush. The flames were spreading. The car was smoking.
By this time, the drone had guided other officers to the scene of the accident.
So my first thing was to acquire a fire extinguisher and try to contain the fire. It's kind of hard to contain a vehicle fire.
There's so many plastics and chemicals and oils and gas in the vehicle. It just continues to burn.
As they fought to contain the flames, more and more officers arrived on scene.
When I arrived, Officer Trong was at the rear of the vehicle yelling at the gentleman, trying to get him to come out.
I had him stick his arm out.
Come on, give me your hand!
To try to pull him out, but I couldn't at the time because there was a rear seat headrest that was obstructing the exit.
Yeah, you're doing good! Hey, come out!
I can hear the gentleman screaming from inside the car.
Hey, come out!
A lot of trees that were actually burning down just because of all the flames that were coming out of this vehicle.
But the officers refused to give up.
We weren't trained as firemen to respond to fire calls. It just doesn't stop you.
Hey, come out! Come out! Come here, give me your hand!
With time slipping away, they made one last desperate attempt at the rescue.
I had him come back out one more time, and I grabbed him and forced him out.
Come on!
And that's when my partners grabbed a hold of his other arm and were able to pull him out.
But there was no time to celebrate. Danger still loomed.
It was 5-10 seconds right after we pulled him out, the car fully engulfed itself. I mean, seconds really counted in this incident.
They managed to get the man up the embankment to the side of the freeway as firefighters and EMTs arrived.
He had sustained several burns to the lower part of his body, as well as several bone fractures to his right leg.
The injured driver was rushed to the hospital.
He's still recovering from his injuries, but I'm sure he's happy to be alive. And I know we're happy that we were able to make sure he stayed alive.
It was in no small part due to the bravery of the officers, an advanced 911 system, and a high-tech eye in the sky.
Having the drone be able to guide us in was essential to saving this gentleman's life. We would have been looking in the wrong area.
The teamwork that was involved at that time was spectacular. Those four were the heroes that night.
We give them the tools and the technology to do their job, but it's more than that. It's the heart behind the badge that matters more than anything else. They care about what they do, they take an oath, and they serve each and every day. I couldn't be prouder as the chief of police.
Being trapped in a fire, whether it's in your home or in a vehicle, is a deeply terrifying experience.
But as we've seen, there are always heroes, both professional and regular folks, who are brave enough to do the courageous thing and help a stranger.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Hearts of Heroes.